Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to today's live stream. Starting this one a little bit earlier than usual, but that's how it is. Hoping to get to bed a little earlier today. And we're doing another Matrix sketch because Martina mentioned the Trainman, and I thought, oh yeah, the Trainman would be really cool to draw. And I feel like I have childhood memories of Bruce Spence, but I'm not sure what show from. But he's a New Zealand actor, and there's quite a lot of crossover between Australia and New Zealand ch- children's entertainment, I think, perhaps. Hello, Lilo Fardenfish. Say hello in the live chat if you're here, and if you're watching the replay, say hello as well. And if you're familiar with The Matrix and The Trainman, then tell me all about it. And let's work on this sketch together. So I'm over here on Procreate again. If you were here yesterday, I worked on, let's just have a look, this piece of the Oracle. So that was fun, and keeping going with the digital portrait theme, focusing on shapes, and staying in the Matrix world. We're going to work on this one of the Trainman. And yeah, had a lot of fun color variations at the end of yesterday's stream. And hello, Nana. Nice to see you here. Say hello, anyone who's here. I would love to hear from you. Oh, the reference. I have the reference right. Oh, it is here. That's funny. So, the reference is here. This reference is here. And you can get it at the Discord server. There's a group chat. Discord server. Martina says hell. Because I've chosen the Trainman. Tell me everything about the Trainman. Tell me everything about your day. May the 4th. And Bruce Spence was also in the Star Wars movies. Let's do something. Oh, I've got this wild blue color here. I'll just put that in just to get started, just to get something down. That is definitely not the blue that I see. So I'll see if I can get this looking a bit more like the blue that I see. It's too green, but none of it looks like what I see. Okay, it's just gonna have to be that. That's how it is. Oh well. May the 4th be with you, indeed. Okay, we'll just go with that color. Just know that I have a much more luscious blue than what you can see. But that's okay, we'll just get to it. Get sketching with my freehand selection tool. And I wonder... It was kind of hard getting a reference from the film, and a lot of the really good close portrait shots were cropped in ways that were kind of, I felt, suboptimal. But I found this one, and this one's okay. So here, shapes. We're working with shapes. All you see is Jedediah, the pilot from Mad Max. Yeah. I wish I knew what character. I'm pretty sure there was some kids' TV show that Bruce Spence was in my childhood. And it was funny to see him as the Trainman in the Matrix, because it's just like, oh, it's that guy. he's so good. Such an interesting character. Does wonderful things with his face. All right, I see right here that this is not really where I want it to be, but it's digital, so I can just kind of put it over here, and I can change things almost infinitely, which I'm not sure that's as real good, but I can do it. So I'll I'll put this. You can just change things around, put things in different places, and it's just like a little part in the top half of this composition, but I can then get in close and make that the most interesting part. I feel like the piece I did yesterday, there was a lot of leftover space that I didn't get around to working on. And this way, I don't know, it'd be interesting. I have this focus space and just kind of, there's interesting compositional stuff. There's a lot of cool things about working from like screen captures of interesting films and TV shows, is that they often, like the compositions, they've been a team of creative people already giving a lot of thought to the composition and what the people are wearing, the lighting. There's already so much amazing consideration that has gone into this kind of reference. So it's often really fun. Like, it's really nice to watch films that just have beautiful cinematography, and you can just see that whole creative work which has gone into making something that transports us to another world. Hello, Ingrid. You're not late. I'm early. I got started a little early today. I've had a request, and it's a very sensible one. I don't know why. I've been super tired recently, but since we moved, my workspace is also sleeping space, and that this space be used to sleep in earlier than it often is when I'm live streaming. Decided just to start a little bit earlier. So there's a couple of things I'll be focusing on this week. The last couple of weeks, there's been almost like, just the kids have been home a lot, which has been nice. But a lot of things that I thought I'd be getting done, I didn't really get done. So a couple of things I'm going to be focused on. I'm going to be recording my Patreon watercolor sketch tutorial, and the next round of my mentorship is beginning, and I feel like I haven't been able to give it as much attention and talk about it as much as I had for the first round. But if you're interested in working with me in the mentorship, then please get in touch, because we're going to start very soon. And it'll be 3 months of working together. And it's gonna be really cool. I can just, if I'm like, I think I put things, I'm not sure that's in the right place, I can just grab it and move it around because it's digital. This is very interesting. I see there's all sorts of things that are not quite how I feel like I actually see them, but it's still interesting, and it's just pure shapes. What have I got? I've got like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shapes so far. So this could already be a portrait, and you can say this is a 9 shape portrait, which I think is pretty interesting. Because this whole thing is just one shape, and this eye area is one shape. So this is really just catching it at this moment and being like, this is just a few shapes, but it really clearly expresses the portrait. That's really interesting. If you think that's really interesting, give me a thumbs up. Like and subscribe and stuff. Become friends, leave a comment. All right. That's it. Wrap it up. It's a 9-shape portrait, but now I'm going to do some more. So we're done. We could be done. We could just say we're done. It'd be a less than 10-minute portrait, and we can all just go and have a nap. But I'm gonna keep going a little bit longer. Martina, I saw that you went and listened to music today, just before I got on here. How was that? was that? Star Wars themed, if I'm not mistaken, for May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, everyone. So who used Procreate or the Sketchbook app yesterday? It's been great to see, even though I'm doing this, if you don't feel like doing digital sketching, you just do what you do. And I've loved seeing people's drawings of the Oracle from yesterday. Some really, really nice work that you've been doing and sharing. So that's great to see. I wonder, there's something odd about the like the silhouette. I wonder if I can catch it now. This has maybe got a bit much space. This angle is not quite as steep. And you can just, when I select something and I'll get rid of it, I go into this add part and just say cut. And it just cuts a big chunk out of whatever I've decided I don't want. Ashley says, no, please do not be done. I'll go a little bit longer. Sunday, Sunday. So lucky to have you here. Thank you for being here, Ashley. Thank you to everyone who is here. If you have not already said hello in the chat, please do. Isidore Atur is here. I don't know if Danielle is here yet. Paston is here. Hello. Oh, they were from concerts the past winter. Oh, okay. Martina enjoys going to LA Phil concerts at the Hollywood Bowl and Walt Disney Concert Hall, and you can't wait to go again this year. It's fortunate enough to be able to live so close to these venues. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, amazing. I live close to the forest. I'm fortunate to be able to spend a lot of time in the forest. I spent some time in the forest today, but I would like to, it'd be so cool to see, experience some more concerts and galleries and stuff, but you get what you get. And the forest is nice. This is, I don't know, something about this, just the quickness, the sketchiness of this, the whole idea of using just shapes to make something is really interesting. And yeah, this is a process with Procreate that I think is really interesting in this shapy way. And like I feel like I get to a place where I'm really happy with it if I've got like an hour or 2 hours to work on like a Procreate portrait. But it's interesting also just to sketch around and see what happens. And just this as is already somehow interesting. What is that dot? Oh, that's the selection tool. That's okay. Yeah, that. Okay, I'm going to focus mainly on the portrait, but there's some interesting stuff in the composition. Like, I just like there's this, just a few shapes in the cloth, which are really interesting. And if we say it goes up to like right around here, maybe. That's kind of cool. So on the iPad here, this is pretty cool. I have the photo app open right next to the Procreate app, so I can have the reference here and here. You can also have your reference open in the Procreate app, but I like having it alongside like this, and when I get into something a bit closer like that, I can go like that. So that is the thing that I'm doing that you can't see because I've got the reference up here. Hi Cheryl, any new animal sightings or petting? We went to Castle Ruins. There's this like double summit. Heard some beautiful birds, saw some slugs. I didn't touch them, but I think that was kind of it today. But thank you for asking. Ice blue. Let's call it ice blue. You're curious about how I'm going to do the hair on Procreate. So hair always is helpful to think of it in terms of value shapes, like everything. And there's like big shapes and there's little shapes. And starting with the big shapes and just selectively putting in the little shapes. That's how I like to think about hair in general. And a few people have asked about hair, and we can, at some point, we can definitely spend a bit more time on hair, because understanding hair is helpful for understanding any kind of complex shape, I think, because sometimes we have things and we're like, oh, I have this feeling of overwhelm, it's so complex, how am I going to do that? And so using hair as a kind of gateway into understanding complex shapes, I think that's really a helpful way to look at hair. So yeah, I don't know how much I'll get into the hair today, but thank you for reminding me to talk about hair a bit more, because it's really cool doing some nice hair drawing. What am I doing here? Putting this layer of like this transparent dark green over things. And just see, I'm now, instead of just doing the full drop of the color, I'm using the brush. This is like my favorite paintbrush. It's called Nico Roll. It's textured. It's like a big chunky brush, and the spots where it's really dark, I can get darker with it. But I also want some lighter kind of texture and shape in there up the side, because there's a lot of interesting value shapes that I want to get into. And so everything now on this like darker layer that I'm starting to look at, it's all on this. It's going to be on one layer, like a shared layer, all of these darker shapes. Hey, Tommy. Um, Ashley's enamored with the cheekbone and nose relationship. Um, Banana slugs. What kind of slugs? I don't know. Nacktschnecken, they're called in German, which means naked snails. Not banana. Brown and orange are the slugs, and sometimes I saw black one as well today. Um, Hair as a gateway to understanding complex shapes. Yes, that's right, Ashley. You can quote me on it. Sara-isms. Yeah, take note of the Sara-isms. Maybe we can make a book about them. Liking the watercolor transition gradient green. Just a quick thought, no judgment, nothing like that. That's okay. You feel free to say what you say. You're surprised that I have not come up with my own set of brushes in Procreate. I want to kind of keep it simple. I like this Nico Roll brush, and otherwise I can do a whole portrait without using a brush. So brushes is not really. When I first had Procreate, I played around a bit like, oh, you can change, there are all these different settings and you can make all this unique stuff. But the kind of, it's a special kind of passion involved in creating your own unique brushes. And so far, that has not been where my passion has been most activated, let's say. And yeah, I just like this kind of like chunky, got a bit of texture, and I've not felt compelled to make my own set. I do not feel judged, as I hope you do not. But yeah, I am aware that there are really, really cool like brushes, and people like, I have no custom brushes in my Procreate, and I know there are so many great ones. I see people using them like, hey, you can get my brush set. And it's a thing that people do, but so far it's not been a thing I do. And yeah, like a lot of my favorite Procreate portraits that I've done, I haven't used a brush at all. So the freehand selection tool and the drag and drop color thing, like I did the first phase, that's something that I dig. All right. It's interesting, kind of this peachy color here. I'm wondering, and look, this will be interesting. Something I can do here is, look, if I just, everything I just did, whoops, not that one, but this one, look at that, what a difference that makes. All of that that I've just put in there makes such a difference. And it's so cool just to be able to like get rid of it like that. But yeah, I was just thinking about this peachy shape. There's something about that it's a bit too saturated, and I'm wondering if ooh, that's interesting. I feel like that feels a bit more fitting to the reference. Oh, maybe here's something I could do. I could duplicate that layer, do that, and then I could just like, I think I also have, if I use the same brush and erase some shapes out of this, that might be interesting, where I want a bit more like something interesting in here. It looks like a bit warmer, and if I just doing anything. No, it's not. Why isn't that erasing anything? Here we go. Not sure that makes any sense. No. Tell me, this must be one of the most challenging references yet. It's yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Martina's suggestion to Ashley is, with every portrait, write a Dylan quote underneath. Yes, that would be interesting. To if there's something quote worthy that I say. Yes, use the eraser for the highlights. Yes, yes, correct. I could, and just a little bit to see. Oh, so it's pretty subtle, that little bit of warmth which is still in there, but I lost track of how many shapes this is now. It was interesting at the 9 shape moment, and it's interesting now. So yeah, the whole thing of playing around, just exploring different ways of making portraits, different ways of focusing on the shape, or which we're doing this month. Lines, of course, which we've done in previous months, where we've done a lot of focus on line work, has been really interesting. What if I do that over here? There's the skin shape under here. I was feeling a bit like something's got to change there. So now I'm wondering about just dropping hair shapes over it to change that a bit. So here, getting into the idea of hair a bit, just like, yeah, layering up of shapes. It's so I've already got some big chunky highlight shapes, and if I want to add some more shapes within that, like I'm just choosing where I can kind of put some strands in, and in the same way as I'm making these highlight shapes, I can, underneath this, I will make a layer where I'll make some darker shapes, because having the contrast like here, like getting up with the darker shape closer, and here I can go all the way up under the face and just drop in something dark behind. Maybe I'll make it like a really dark blue, just to change it color wise. I'll put it under the skin. That could be a good idea. But if I want to do something with it here, I'm going to have to put a layer above the skin. That's okay. Yeah, I also thought before starting this, I was like, oh, this is a pretty complex reference. But what was the quote? Hair as a gateway to understanding complex shapes. Yep. So here, this is also just still big shape stuff going on, and somehow, it creates the illusion of some interesting hair shapes, even though it's just really big chunky shapes. And if you wanted to, and sometimes I do want to, I will like add some individual strands that stand out from the crowd. This piece of neck here is no longer welcome, and it's on both layers. Wait a minute, if I go in here, and then switch to this layer with that selected, I can erase that bit of neck. Oops. It's a sweet phone sound. My phone telling me, go to bed. I feel like this is far from finished, but I feel like I'm at a stage where I could kind of wrap it up for now. But a bit more contrast in the skin tone would be interesting. Like setting up this contrast shape here, I just feel like a bit more kind of shadow coming in here could be cool. So is this my shadow shape? Yeah. And all these are all skin shapes. I'm going to group them together. And to get a kind of big and brief, darker layer on, just kind of grab most of what I feel like should be darker. And drop something on there. This is all, it's this kind of thing at the end, playing around with layers. The layer properties, but here I've just made a multiply. I often make, if I want a transparent darker layer, I'll make a multiply layer, and I think that's pretty cool. I feel like it's kind of instantly done what I wanted it to do, and just a couple areas where maybe lift a bit of that back out. This highlight in the cheek is feeling way too intense, so I may also go into that highlight layer and lessen that a bit. So that's interesting. On the overall composition, the portrait is now like, it's quite a small part of it. If I wanted to, I could grab everything uniform, and make it bigger on the overall composition. Like, I feel like maybe that would be kind of more interesting. But when you do that, if you've done anything which is super fine detail, it kind of loses the resolution. You can maybe see there that it's not as crisp. If you grab a bunch of stuff and resize it, it changes the resolution of it somehow. But I could just skip back. Whoops. Those two versions. Oh yeah, I feel like the closer crop I like a lot more for what I usually... I feel like it's more typical to what I do. So it may be interesting just to leave it like that as well. Oops. And I'll pretty much leave it like that today. And I'm going to play around with some color layers on top of this. Everything looks super cool in color. Might you consider even an audition color, a punchy orange, warm persimmon orange. Persimmon, a warm persimmon. How about this? I will put a whole layer of warm persimmon. Persimmon. Bam, let's see what this does. So now I will get rid of this. And this is something like I did yesterday at the end. Oh, look at that. I like to play around with the color layer on top. And this feels like I could spend another hour on it, tightening things and playing around a lot. But just for the sake of this live stream, a somewhat brief sketch, just clocking in at under 40 minutes. So having this layer, which I've made this orange color, oh, that's cool. Then we get to play around with that punchy. Oh, look at that! Using multiply on here. Look at that with that warm persimmon. Oh, it's all darker and it's like intense. It's cool. So I'll make a few different versions just by playing around. Oh, I like that too. The red and green. That's cool. Oh, there's some really fascinating stuff that happens with these color overlays. Wow, that's a color dodge layer. Cool. Yeah, so I talked about this a bit yesterday as well, that once all the values are established with the initial normal kind of, oh, that's cool, the normal kind of drawing, then if you've got the values right, and then you just drop a layer of color on top, you can do magic like this right now. And often the results that I come up with, so this is somewhat, I was looking at the colors of what was there and just dropping stuff in and building it up in this way. But often when I just do this and kind of drop color on and then go through these different layer, I see. It's so much fun. I'll go through these different like layer qualities and stuff and just be like, discover things which I think they just pop so much more than what my initial thing was. So it's really super fun to play around with. Yeah, cool. I will export a bunch of these and then I'll make an Instagram post and you can tell me which one is your favorite. So cool. And maybe just before wrapping this up, that was satisfying, wasn't it? Thank you for the color suggestion. Wait a minute. I'm just gonna put myself up here, big, and I'm gonna show you yesterday's. I'm just gonna navigate around. So I exported a few different versions of the Oracle, and I will show you. Here we go. So yeah, these were some favorites from the color layer experimentation after yesterday's, and I will post these on Instagram as well. So this I feel like is really interesting, doing these Procreate pieces and really different. I think that was the original color. So different than watercolor or I really like this, or working on, it looks so different on the screen than in my eyes. Oh wow, that's interesting. Oh, that looks so different as well. What are you seeing, camera? This is strange. You don't see what I see, but it still looks interesting. What was I just saying? I don't know. Yeah, it's just so different than pen on paper, but it's a great way of looking at shapes and understanding shapes and values and getting to, I feel like a pretty relaxed, safe way to experiment with color. And you can be really, so long as you're keeping it in a value range that makes sense, the way we play with the color is really super fun. Like, so many possibilities, so interesting. Look at that. Thank you for being here, everyone. The sorcery. The fourth. Drawing hand, stylus hand emoji in the live chat. Or if you are watching the replay of this and you've made it all the way to the end, I'm amazed and grateful. Thank you so much for watching this all the way to the end. As a sign that you have done so, please put a drawing hand emoji in the chat, or if you can't find it, just write drawing hand, and we'll be here again tomorrow. The light pink and baby blue, Andrew Kadima, the Andrew Kadima filter. Thank you, everyone. Warmth to all of us. Warm persimmon to all of us. Thank you for participating in this joyful portrait. Look at this joyful portrait. Hand and pencil. Did I miss anything? Slipknot fan tuned in. Cool. Slipknot. I am also a Slipknot fan, by the way. Some images from the Northman in this style. Interesting. There are so many series. Like as I was saying earlier, people have put so much effort into making it look really cool already. This cinematography, all of the production values. Like I watched The Wheel of Time recently, and I'm just like, oh, it's so cool. There's so much stuff in there that would be so cool to draw from. So it's a treat to grab reference like this. And of such a fun actor, Bruce Spence, the Trainman. It's so cool to have this stuff and just like, it's a playground. Just what an interesting character. What an interesting piece of reference to work from. Drawing hand. Hi, Mark. If you have not yet given me a thumbs up, please do so. I see 20 people are watching, only 11 likes. Even if you like it just a little bit, it's worth just giving me a thumbs up. Quick idea, Miss Piggy from the Muppets and Kermit. I've wondered about non-human references. Miss Piggy and Kermit. Noted, Ashley. Humanize them. I don't think so. I would want to take like genuine reference and do something like this to it. But I'm gonna write that down here. Northmen and Miss Piggy and Kermit. You can always make suggestions. I'm not sure yet what medium I will use tomorrow. I will simmer on it. I will definitely simmer on that one. Oh yeah, he's in Mad Max too. Yeah, he's in a great many things. He's the mouth of Sauron I mentioned yesterday. Such a distinctive mouth. Yeah, all right. That's it. Thanks, everyone. You're also great. Thank you so much for being here. Come back, join the fun, join the Discord server, and get the reference every day. I post reference every day for us to work from, and it would be great to have you there. Tell your friends, maybe they'll like it too. And if you'd like to, you can buy me a copy or join my Patreon. Join my mentorship if you want to spend a lot of time with me and have me looking at your work a lot, and we will like figure things out together. It's going to be great. Thank you to those of you who already are participating and have participated in my mentorship. I love you. I love you all. Here is the Discord link if you're not already there. You're very welcome. Good night. Good night. Much love to you all. Take care of each other. All right. See you tomorrow.